Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. It is Saturday, February the 22nd. It's about 11:41 a.m. So, kind of wanted to do this live. Started to do a video. I'm still working on trying to figure out like the echo. I think it has something to do when I'm using like a different a different source as well as like a layered effect, and it might be coming from like the music and the desktop audio, something like that. So I'm still working that out. So just gonna dive in really quick and give you guys basically a recap if you weren't following, and let you know what I'm looking at going into tomorrow Globex and next week. So as a lot of people already know, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if I'm getting sick again or my voice is just going. I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, we're back. So Monday was 1 second. Okay, had to quell that. So Monday basically was a day in which we did not have any kind of participation. Um, we ended up establishing basically a Tuesday high of the week and then precipitous move short. The only thing we did do Friday was we swept out Thursday buy side liquidity, and then we just tanked. We dropped off. Now, general consensus would be to continue to look for shorts. I'm still of the mindset that there's still higher price, right? So I'm still drinking the Kool Aid of candle range theory, which says at the end of the day, we are still in this candle range from December 18th. We're still in this range. So that's like my outlier frame for longs. Now, I did and I was looking for lower price Thursday, which eventually did pan out. It just didn't pan out during the session that I was trading in. I ended up posting that night. We took like 300. I got out. I didn't hold or anything. I took like the 300. However, yesterday I lost again. But I was looking for a resumption long after, I figured like what price had mitigated short, like we were going to continue long, and I was just on the wrong side, just point blank, no other way of looking at it, and I gave back, I think another 1,000 or 18 or whatever it was. So um, I'm not going to say a little disheartening. I can see what I did now, but at that time I was a little too zoomed in. Long story short. So on the wrong side, and I was looking a little bit too closely, and I had to kind of zoom back out because I hadn't come back to the daily or the 4 hour until, excuse me, after I closed out another position yesterday, again, looking for the resumption, and then the bottom fell out. And thankfully, I got out just before the bottom fell out, and I called it quits, and I said I'll just come back and look at the market after we've closed for the day, and then look at the week overall. So, yes, again, the idea is still we could see, and I do believe we probably will see a very short term short and then a resumption long. So I'll zoom down, but yeah, I just definitely wanted to kind of point this out if you were looking at like the overall. And again, my overarching idea is still bullish price action from where we're at. So that being the macro outlook, and let me lock this so nothing moves, and then that way I can bring you back to what I was looking at. So last live stream that we did that took like absolutely freaking forever, which was great by the way, was right up in here. And anybody that was on the live stream, you kind of recognize I didn't take any of this off of the chart, and there was a reason behind it. So we literally had, this was our Globex or our 6 p.m. candle that particular day, and I was looking at this area of interest, and I'd said to everybody, hey, look, I'm basically looking back here at the PM sell side liquidity from the previous day. I did say that. And, there were a few questions people kept saying, well, what was the trigger? What made me do that? And I said, hey, and I came back here and I said, my whole reasoning, the logic behind it was there was a breaker structure, there was another breaker structure, and you were looking basically for a continuation. But I wasn't looking for the bottom per se to fall out. I was literally just looking back to basically the PM. Initially during that live session, my initial target was literally just the 6 p.m. Sell side liquidity level. So what obviously we know now in retrospect, looking back, we did end up getting this delivery. It was just before the close of basically the Asia session, and going into London. But what ended up happening was we got essentially a Judas swing. We had a sweep of liquidity and then a continued Judas swing. And then that took us into Thursday, Friday. And then she fell off a cliff. She fell completely off a cliff. This was where, like I said, I got caught out on Thursday. Or excuse me, no, this is Friday. I'm sorry. Friday. I got caught out here because I just marked out like the AM liquidity, and I always have a thought process, which is, we'll run maybe on about 50% of the AM liquidity. I do talk about shallow retracements, and that's essentially what we got. We got, and this would be considered a shallow retracement. The market was short from the open. Any longs in here would have been a retracement, or a run on AM liquidity. So at the very least, I was looking at this area of fair value, and I got in. I think I got in somewhere around here, and then I had to bail because my stop was a little too tight the first time, and I want to say that I made an attempt to get back up into whatever was going to be delivered 3 times on Friday. I think it was three times. And after the third time, I just kind of said, it's not happening. The third time was I want to say back in here, because I was looking at the structure. It seemed to be holding, and then got in, and then it wasn't holding anymore. So just didn't work out. So that's what this is. I can actually take this off now, just to kind of try to give you guys a framework and an idea. And I believe even on this might have been the last candle. 12:10, because by the time I got back to the house, it was like 11. It was maybe a quarter to 12 or so, or a little bit before. It was a little bit before that, because I did take 2 positions. This was my final position. It was in between like 12:05, 12:15. So it was in here. But essentially, like, once I saw it wasn't going to hold, again, I deliberately had my stop tight, but it was still excessive in terms of what I really wanted to lose. And once this broke, I was literally just looking to see if we could get back here. And obviously, as you could see, we didn't reach that. We didn't make it. Which kind of brings us into tomorrow. And you could say, well, short and short and short. And why, what are you looking for? Are you looking for shorts? And the answer is no. I'm still looking for a resumption long. And now my basis is very simply, I think if I pinch that down too far, you won't be able to see. Here's the logic behind why this blue horizontal ray is marked off. And this actually should be here. I've got that locked. This should be here. And the reason that I have this marked off is because it's sitting in an area of fair value. And I am a practitioner of what I preach, and what I typically preach, I don't preach. What I typically say is, if there's a low or high that's sitting in an area of fair value, it's a target to be run. So my supposition, my idea is that, and the reason that I have my invalidation here and not down here, because you could say, well, if you're doing it here, there's an area of fair value here. That is true. but there's also not a low sitting in this area of fair value. So I'm leaning on the idea of a couple of things, right? The first of which is that you're getting essentially a smaller or a fractal change in the state of delivery down here. Okay, because you got a low, it took out this previous low. You got a break in intermediary structure here. Okay, this is the high, this is the move back in, and this is a move away. So I'm looking at this as basically like a basically where structure has turned around. Okay. Additionally, this is fair value. There is no low here. So does it mean it can't come back and get run? It does not. I'm just trying to shorten or reduce the amount of risk that I have for exposure looking at a position for tomorrow or even going into actually Monday. So my idea is here's an area of fair value you haven't moved back into. Hey Chris, how's it going? I'm good. I'm good. Just trying to I wanted to get this analysis out for kind of what I'm looking at going into tomorrow. And then earlier in the week, if I take a position or trade, and just trying to just not explain, but just show what I'm looking at. So I'm not looking for continued shorts. I know we saw the bottom fall out yesterday. I'm still looking for longs. Yeah. So I'll pop back up here to the daily real quick for you, and I gotta lock this back. So despite Friday, which is this candle, my candle range theory still has us from December the 18th. We're still in this candle range. We've closed back inside. We've souped it a couple times, but we've not really closed below it since January. And you've got a few in here, but like all this month, we've not really seen any closures below. We've seen an open below, but everything has been inside. So my idea until that's invalidated is we're still looking for higher price. Pullbacks are it's an inevitability. Like we know it's going to happen. So I'm kind of like despite. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But you got to, which is why I don't deal with the sentiment and like the fundamentals of what some speculators and like the talking heads for the true retail minded trader. Like a lot of people, and it could be, right? I'm just not there yet. But a lot of people tend to look at a move like Friday and they're like, oh my God, the sky's falling and the market's gonna crash. If that is an inevitability, which it could very well be, I'm not there yet. Right? So until the technicals tell me otherwise, like I'm just going to lean on the technicals and just try to stay away from any kind of fundamental influence if at all possible. So yeah, exactly what you said. I look at this as just what it is. Yeah. We had a short. Obviously it was reaching for something. I'm still going to continue with a long bias. Thursday, Wednesday night Globex, but Thursday, took that small position. It literally took like forever from the 6 p.m. It did deliver back, but Thursday I didn't do very very well. So I lost Thursday and I lost yesterday in the account because I was again looking for those continued longs after yeah. So we were back in here on Wednesday night, Globex or Thursday. We were looking at this. Everybody kept asking me, hey, why are you short? What are you looking at? And I kept saying to everybody, like, yeah, there's a break here. There's a break here. I was only looking for the delivery back to the PM session from the previous day. And we ended up getting the 6 p.m. taken and then liquidity swept out or souped. And then we basically had a Judas swing that came up, and then it gave us a Judas back the other way. And that other Judas would have been here. It would have actually taken place during London. So that's what started, this run, which, I said earlier in this will basically be a video on my channel. So I said earlier, I was on the wrong side. Like, I saw this the night before, but I didn't follow it through when I got back to the charts on Thursday. I was looking at the AM session from Thursday, thinking that we were going to get a run back on AM liquidity, and we did get a run on it. It was just super shallow here, and then price jumped back off another cliff. So going into next week and tomorrow, I'm still somebody be like, how many times do you have to, get shot with the arrow? And my thing is, until it's truly invalid, right? So what I was saying is, now this blue horizontal ray is a low that's sitting inside an area of fair value. So what I'm looking for is to see this level taken. This red horizontal line is my invalidation for what would be continued longs. And I'm literally only looking for essentially back into this area. So it's realistically like this high. I just want to see if we can get back to the high. If we break back above this level, that would at least enable the concept or the idea of we could be looking at a change in market structure. But I have to be careful because there is an area of fair value that sits right here. So, yeah. Caught some beautiful shorts on Friday. Yeah, congratulations, man. That's good on you. I'm not going to say I was stubborn yesterday, but for whatever reason, like I said, I didn't anticipate the roll the way that it happened. And once I saw that it was, it's kind of like a freight train, I just said, you know what? I'm done. I didn't even decide to do the live yesterday because I just kind of wanted to relax and kind of just like not look at the charts for a few hours. And then when I looked at them last night, after everything closed, yeah, after everything closed, and then I came back, that's when I went back and I looked, I pulled this up and then I looked, and then I went all the way back like I did before, and I was like, oh, because I came back here, right? And then I went, oh. Like I was looking for that. Yeah, we got that. But if you were looking for that from here, like I should have, it just didn't. Yeah. I didn't think we were going to go that far. And if you notice, like as I have this like pinch back out, this would have been enough here to clear out this level. So that's what made me think, okay, we've cleared out some sell side, and we kind of popped back up, which is why I took the position of, even if it's a short-term long, it's not like I wasn't aiming for the moon, but with one-sided delivery, it would have seemed reasonable. Yeah. So, yeah, going into to tomorrow, yeah, like I said, I'm still not oversold on the shorts because of what I look at as like a little bit more of a macro or a higher time frame. So fractally, yeah, I'm still gonna look for, maybe a mitigation short, and then I'm still gonna be looking for a short term play long, and then just see what happens. What happens from there. But yeah, that's it. It's not beautiful. It's not glamorous, but yeah, we'll just see what we could get. And this is just kind of like my reference for where and what. But like I said, we'll see what happens. What are you thinking? You think we continue low? You think we continue short? Because I mean, it is completely possible that we do. Looking for a bearish? Yeah. I tend to, I always say, and this is probably the only thing, like I don't have anything ever like pre-scripted for like videos or lives or anything like that. Like I may say some things that are similar, but there's one thing that I say and it's not scripted, right? I always say if we're looking or if you could anticipate higher price at any point, you need to be looking at, a significant volume or a certain amount of bearish or prices that are just selling off. So I know we're not quite there, and I could be, team party of one with this logic, but I'm not necessarily going to say that this is balanced in terms of bullish and bearish delivery, but I would at least say we had a brief long, like if we forget all of the structure back here, and you just look at basically like the last 2 weeks have kind of canceled each other out, right? Still leaving obviously some sell side sitting down here. But if the idea is higher price, even though I'm on a daily, like I don't think that it has to be weeks on weeks before we see a resumption long. And as you already said, if it's a pullback, then I don't know when it's going to be over, but my presumption is if it is that, we should probably still leave some of the sell side, and then the sell side lining up with, a candle range idea. Doesn't mean that this can't get taken next week, but I'm just kind of erring on the side of how many down days, even though these are just pretty much indecision on these days, but we've had bearish price. So what's the balance? Even if we have a couple of, however it works out. I'm looking at, we've had short price, we've had lower price. I'm looking for a resumption long. Yeah. Yeah, I like to try to look though, and if that works for you, outstanding. Like I could appreciate that. I sometimes, admittedly, I could find myself just being too close. You know what I mean? Um, because sometimes I won't leave the 5 minute. I'll basically pinch everything down so I could see everything, but I'm sitting on the 5 minute, and sometimes I'll only go up to the 15 minute. Um, every now or so again, like during the week, I'll come up and I'll look at like the daily just to kind of see how the weekly profile is setting up. But um, yeah, I don't necessarily get lost, but well, I will say sometimes I get lost because that kind of happened this Thursday and Friday. I was too close, and while I literally said shorts the night before, I was anticipating the shorts were over because of where it ran. So, but it happens. It happens. So that is, as they say, that. And then hopefully I'll be out of not really putting a rubber stamp on it, but I would like to complete the Tradeify 150K combine next week. So get, like I said, gave some back over the last couple of days, but just positive, looking into next week. So last week of February. So eh, eh, make the best out of it. Oh, absolutely make the best out of it. But yeah, that's kind of all I'm gonna do for today. Tomorrow we will be back. I will be live tomorrow with Globex. Um, I think you were here Wednesday night actually. So my wife is in Hawaii. She's gonna be gone, I think, a week. She's only gone for a week or 2 weeks. So, that being said, I'll be back to um, doing lives. Likely, it's going to be like a post New York Open. So anywhere from 10:30 to 11 a.m. I'm going to try. Like my focus this week is to see if we can't just get a live in every day this week around that time, and potentially maybe it just depends. Um, Maybe do some Globex too. All right, awesome, man, awesome. Yeah, and it's just the live. So even if we just have discussion, and I can't emphasize this enough, but I probably won't be doing the lives that I have like in those situations where I feel like I have to or I'm compelled to take a trade. It's more or less just shoot the shit. We could look at the market and see if there's an opportunity or see what avails or just kind of go from there. But if there's a setup or there's something that I see, then absolutely. But you know, I know how sometimes that happens when we sit and we look at a chart, and eventually something appears, but it's not really there because you're sitting and looking. So hopefully I don't damage or hurt myself by doing that. But yeah, that's the idea. So if she's watching, she's kind of probably going to be like, "Really, you're excited?" Because I want to say I'm excited to be able to do the lives, and she's probably like, "Really, you're excited that I'm gone so you could do the lives?" If I'm being 100% honest, yes, yes. Not excited that she's gone, but I'm excited that I'm not impeded by doing the lives. If she were here, I'm not going to win either way, but in my world, honesty trumps all. So I'm staying with that. I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it. So yeah, I'm a wrap from here, and I'm just gonna now put on my sound engineer cap and see if I could sort out the echoing and everything that was going on the other night. I think I have a couple of ideas, so I'm gonna spend a couple of hours doing that, and spend some time with my kiddo. My son wants to check out a few movies, so that will that'll do it for me. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow about 5:45, so 15 minutes before the open, and yeah, be ready. Ah, about to go do that. Well, good luck, good fortune, good hunting, and have an amazing rest of your Saturday, Chris. I appreciate you for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. You have a good day. Everybody else, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So take care.